Start a Therapy Practice podcast, episode number 88.
Scott Harmon, startatherapypractice.com podcast.
Well, hello there. How are you doing? This is Scott Harmon from startatherapypractice.com, and that's where I teach you how to start, grow, and automate a therapy practice. Basically, it's my mission with each of these podcast episodes to empower you, to encourage you on this adventure that I call private practice. You can do this. You are a top-notch therapist, and you know how I know that? Because you're listening to this podcast right here. You want to improve your skills, but unfortunately, we didn't get any business or entrepreneur training in school, and that's why you're here. So let's get started. So first, if you have not attended one of my free webinars on the basics of starting a therapy business, be sure to register for an upcoming webinar at startatherapypractice.com/webinars. And even if you already have a brand new and shiny therapy practice, you're going to learn something new. So register for that free webinar, startatherapypractice.com/webinars, and you're going to learn a ton. I also am giving away a free checklist. It's like a check notebook over there at that webinar, but you have to attend the webinar to get the free checklist on the basics, what you need to have in place, and how to have a successful therapy business. Now, if you have not already done so, I want you to follow me on social media. I'm enjoying Instagram right now and on Facebook. Both of those are Start a Therapy Practice. So you can search Start a Therapy Practice on both of those. I know you're listening to this podcast because that's what you're doing right now. But I want you to subscribe to the podcast on your podcast player. So actually, fairly recently had to switch that over, and so the feed might not be coming to your podcast player if you were already subscribed. If your feed is dead, but you're listening to this somehow, you're probably going to have to resubscribe to the Start a Therapy Practice podcast. And if you're listening to this on the website, you definitely want to have a podcast player on your smartphone. It's such a great use. It's a great use of the technology to learn more. So on your podcast player, I like Stitcher, but if you're using an iPhone, it has its own podcast player. On there, search Start a Therapy Practice and click subscribe. And I would love for you to give me a review on that podcast player. iTunes, your podcast player on your iPhone, has a way of giving a review, and Stitcher has a way of giving like a thumbs up, and some other podcast players have their own review process. I'd love for you to give me your honest review over there, a thumbs up or 5 stars, or hey, Scott, love the podcast, or just any input that you could give. That would be great. All right, let's get into business cards. Do you have a business card? Because in the world of technology that we're in, social media, the tangibility of a business card is never going to be replaced. It's so powerful. So as an OT, there's something to me about the physicalness, that tangibility of that business cards that you can put in somebody's hand. It's like a physical book. I like physical books over an ebook. Do you? I do. I think a lot of people do. I think most people do. That physical item of a business card is something that people also have to deal with. Once you put that business card in their hand, they have to deal with that. Even if it's just to throw it on the floor or throw it in a trash can, they have to deal with that. It's not like social media. It's not like something that is electronic on your phone. It's a physical item. Now, even if you don't already have a therapy business, your own private practice, you need to have a business card. If you know the name of your business, you can create that business card, even though it doesn't exist yet. But you can also have, and you also should have, a business card for you personally. I have several business cards. I have several business cards for my private practice, and I also have a couple of business cards for me personally that don't even mention my private practice. So you should have multiple types of business cards, and I'm going to expand on that here in just a little bit. But you should have both a personal business card for you personally and a therapy business card for your private practice. So I want to cover what you should have on your business card. Okay. I mean, first you got to have a business card. I don't care if you're in business or not. Get a business card. Basically, that's your assignment this week. There's no reason that it should take you more than a week to create a business card. So that's your assignment this week, is to create a business card and get those ordered. The first thing that you should have on your business card is your name. I mean, pretty obvious, right? Either the name of your business or your personal name on your business card. You should have your name very big and bold, and your credentials should be a little bit smaller than your name. I mean, people really are only mildly interested in your credentials. They probably don't know what those are, honestly, but they know what your name is. People connect with people. So have your name big and bold on there. Now, if this is your personal business card, have a picture of yourself. I mean, a headshot picture. I would suggest to get it done professionally. I mean, don't skimp on this, because this is you putting yourself out to the world. If you have some dark picture of you holding a Coke can or whatever, that's not going to cut it. I mean, perception is reality. You got to up your game. This is you being professional, you having a business, all right? Now, it can be a little intimidating putting yourself out there, putting your picture on your business card, but being a business owner means putting yourself out there, okay? It's time to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So too often I see a therapist who create a business card or create a website, and they don't even put their picture of themselves on that business card or on their website. People do business with other people, okay? Put yourself on that business card. Put yourself on your website. Okay, so you might want to have your email on your business card, and this really depends on your potential client demographic. You may be able to leave email off. I mean, it's a limited space on that small business card. So an email may or may not be necessary. People my age, and I'm getting a little bit older, obviously, people my age still use email, okay? My clients that I see in my private practice, I do pediatrics, so really I'm marketing towards the parents who are in their 20s. They're not using email that much, although everybody still has an email account, okay? So potentially you want to put your email on there. I mean, if you're kind of hedging on that, I would say go ahead and put your email on there. If your practice has a website, put your practice website on there. Now, don't substitute Facebook for having your own practice website. Go and listen to podcast episode number 67. I give some tips on what you should have on your clinic website, on your practice website, and there's a checklist on there also. It's a free checklist. Don't substitute Facebook for an actual website. And I give the reason. I expand more on that in that episode of podcast number 67. So it's startatherapypractice.com/67. Now, when you think about this on your business card, do you want to put your homepage? Do you want to send them to your homepage? Maybe not. Maybe you want to send them to your about page. So maybe it's your practice website /about that you want to send them to, because maybe they want to know more about you. Or maybe you have a really great blog where you do very excellent blog posts on your website. Maybe you want to send them to your practice website /blog. Or maybe you have something that you like to give away on your website. Maybe some free ebook that you like to give away. So you could do your practice website /giveaway. All right, the next thing that's pretty obvious that you want on your business card is a phone number. But I would suggest that with the phone number, you put the words call or text me. You really have to be careful not to put too many ways for somebody to contact you. You want to put the best ways, the easiest ways for people to contact you. A lot of people use text messages. I don't have to tell you that. So if I can decrease that barrier for someone to contact me and choose me for therapy, I'm going to say call or text me. And think about the typical or the preferred way that people will want to contact you. I would say that you need to emphasize that. If they typically contact you by email, then emphasize that. If they typically call you, emphasize the call me. All right, so what about your social media handles? You know, maybe you're big on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, Pinterest. So should you put those on your business cards? I would say that you have to think about this one. If you can have the same handle across different social media channels, like my handle for Instagram and Facebook is start a therapy practice. If you search that, you're going to come up with that in those social media environments. If you have the same handle, that's very helpful on a business cards, because you could put just the symbol of Facebook, of Instagram, of Pinterest, and say whatever your handle is. And it could be for all of those different social media channels. Now, if you're bigger on Instagram than any other social media channel, I would suggest that you just put Instagram. Don't overwhelm them with different ways to follow or contact you. It's just going to confuse people. It's also going to make your business card look pretty messy. On your business card, I want you to think about contrasting bold colors and fonts. So boldness and size of the fonts is going to be important. I remember my first rendition of a business card for my private practice. I still have it. It looks pretty bush league. I mean, it's not, obviously I was an amateur at creating business cards. You want to have bold print, big bold print on the important items of your business card, like your name. It should be big and bold. Think about contrasting the colors of your name and maybe contact information that you want them to use against the other not so important items. So maybe you could have the top half where the card is actually all navy blue and the letters are white. And then the bottom half, the letters are navy blue, but the background is white or some sort of light colored background. That gives it a contrasting color. It draws focus to that which is bigger and bolder and darker. Think about having a tagline along with your practice or for you personally. So a tagline really on a business card needs to be reduced to 3 words. Again, you don't want to overclutter your business card, but if you have a little room in there for a 3-word tagline, I think that possibly could work. I want you to think about creating different business cards for different situations. So let's say that you're a therapist and your niche, or what you really like to do in your wheelhouse, is handwriting, and maybe also dyslexia, and maybe also feeding. Maybe that's your wheelhouse. Maybe you're really good at those things. Think about creating 3 different business cards. The first business card would really be focused on handwriting, and it would really speak to what the benefits of receiving therapy from you are if their child has handwriting difficulties. The same goes for if they have dyslexia difficulties or if they have feeding difficulties. Those would be 3 different cards, and you could speak in a very specific way to those difficulties. You could also on there put a link to your website, whatever your practice name is, /feeding or / whatever page you want to send them to, that is very specific to that condition. So when they go to it, you're really speaking to their specific situation. I mean, they're having difficulty with feeding. What if they land on your website and it's on the handwriting page, or it's just the front page and they don't even see anything mentioned about feeding? But if you send them to your practice website /feeding, then you're really speaking to them directly. Now, if you have multiple cards, they should look different, even if it's just color. So you know that the dark blue ones are for feeding, the orange ones are for handwriting, and so on and so on. That way you can easily, if they're kind of in a wad in your pocket or in your notebook, then you can pull those out and say, oh yeah, the orange ones are for handwriting. I'm giving this one to this person because it's orange. I also have a different business card for screenings. And so the business card is all about a free screening that we do over on my clinic website. It takes them straight to that page on my website to get that free screening. And it's all about screenings. It's nothing else. It's only, hey, you can get a free screening through our practice. Just go here to this page on our website. Think about creating another business card that is super simple. Maybe it only has a very short 1-sentence phrase and then a page on your website. Think of a compelling promise in a very simple 1-sentence phrase that you can put on a business card and then a page on your website right under that. For instance, if you're treating lower back pain, You could just have a one sentence phrase that says, lower back pain eliminated in 10 days. And then your website page right under that. If that's all it has, and you are suffering from lower back pain, I'm probably going to check that out. How do I get rid of this lower back pain in 10 days? Of course, then on that website, on your webpage, you have to really convince them, here's how it's done. Here's how I help you with your lower back pain. Or even better, that webpage has them sign up for a free 1-hour seminar that you give a presentation on how your therapy services addresses their problems. It gets them to help to know you better. All right, I want to cover some don'ts, some don't do this with the business card. So first, don't use glossy paper. Real thin, glossy paper, that's not impressive. That's Bush League, okay? Don't use small font or light color that's hard to read. Don't use inconsistent fonts. You should have the same font throughout your business card. If you use a different font on your business card, it should be to emphasize something that you think is important. It's okay to use a different font as long as you're doing it on purpose. Your design should be consistent on your business card to your website page that you're sending them to. There should be some continuity there where they can say, okay, yeah, I recognize this design. I recognize these colors because it's on this business card. Don't fail to use the back of the card. Use that space. Use all the space on the business card that you can because it's very limited space. Use the back of the business card to put something, whether it's a picture of yourself, of your clinic, of another website, of a short phrase, of a promise that you can give about your services, whatever. Use the back of the business card. Do not put your mailing address on your business card. It takes up too much room. I mean, people can find your mailing address on your website, and really not that many people use mail anymore, do they? Do not print your own business cards. This is Bush League. I mean, it's cheap enough to order 200 business cards, 500 business cards. It doesn't cost that much. Don't try to skimp on this and go buy the business cards at Office Depot, at Staples, whatever, and run it through your printer. That is Bush League. Don't do that. Don't get caught up with putting too much design or fancy shapes on your business cards. It makes it difficult to read. The purpose of the business card is to make somebody take action, okay? If they can't read the print on there because of all the crazy flowers and whatever you're putting on there, it defeats the purpose. The biggest mistake that you can make with a business card is not carrying your business card at all times. This drives me crazy. When I meet people out in public and they have a business and I hand them my business card, they're like, oh, I think I have a business card. Let me look. I might have a business card in here. You should have your business card at all times if you own a business. I have business cards scattered everywhere, but there are always some in my back pocket. I have some in my bag. I have some in my car. I have some in each of my cars. I mean, they're everywhere. Please don't let me meet you and ask for a business card and you not have it. There's no reason to not have a business card and have multiple business cards. Okay, so speaking of that, where are some places to get some business cards? So I'm going to list off a few and I'll tell you where I get mine at. So there's moo.com, vistaprint.com, Staples, Office Depot, and I'm sure there's more. I actually got mine from Sam's Club. It was pretty cheap. I think I got 500 business cards for like less than $20. That's just crazy cheap. I've also ordered them from Office Depot before, and I've also gotten them from Vistaprint before. So all those are good options. You don't have to overthink that. And that's another point, is to not overthink your business card. Just get them ordered. You don't have to say, you know what, I'm working on my business card. It's taken me a month. No, just get a business card. Take the advice that I've given here and order a business card, okay? Don't order 1,000 of them. Order 200 of them and see how that works. The important thing is to have a business card. That's my point. Now, my question to you is, have you used a business card in a unique way that I have not mentioned here? I'd love to know how you're using your business card to get more clients. So you can email me, scott@startatherapypractice.com. You can Facebook message me. You can message me on Instagram, on LinkedIn, however you want to let me know what you're doing with a business card that is unique, that is getting you more clients right now. I'd love to know that. All right, I cover more about business cards and other aspects of your therapy business on the upcoming webinar, startatherapypractice.com/webinars. And you can register for free. And there's a super duper checklist that I give away to all the people who attend the webinar. So you definitely don't want to miss that. And again, be sure to follow me on Instagram, on Facebook. My handles over there are Start a Therapy Practice. And I have a YouTube channel, Start a Therapy Practice. I got some great new guests coming up for later this year. So if you would like to be a guest, email me. Or if you know somebody who would be a great guest, email me their name or ask them to email me. It's Scott@startatherapypractice.com. And until next time, Godspeed to you in your practice.